Give me one more bottle of oil. You sure this is glue? Take it out. Give me the oil. Give me the oil. Come, we're not on the camera. Come. The woman of God took off her wig. She wasn't ashamed. Give me the oil. She took off her wig. Give me the oil. Open it. Rakanda da da ba. Deliverance. Open your mouth. Deliverance. Deliverance. Set it.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video of The Star Reacts. Today we are going to be reacting to something very interesting. I was just chilled. As you can see, I am chilling in this very beautiful, nature kind of place. And on a beautiful day like today, as the birds are surprising me with some entertainment, like very beautiful day. Okay, shine. Okay, they are silent now, we can talk. The interesting thing that I came across online that has really just got me thinking is churches and the whole idea of churches. Okay, check this out, then we'll talk about it.
And the Holy Ghost is telling me to put the oil in your hand. Give me one more bottle of oil. You sure this is glue? Take it out. Give me the oil. Give me the oil. Come, we're not on the camera. Come. The woman of God took off her wig. She wasn't ashamed. Give me the oil. She took off her wig. Give me the oil. Open it. Rakanda da da ba. Deliverance. Open your mouth. Deliverance. Set it.
I'm so sure this is not the first time that you have seen something like this. Like, can't we already say we're already done with quote unquote the laughter that comes with seeing someone deciding to give so much power to someone to tell you everything that you need to do. And don't get me wrong, I'm here because we should be able to learn from other African countries that are taking steps towards the right direction. And we're going to talk about that. And it's beginning to rain. And yeah, so let's get in the house. Feels like I was trying to bless you guys with some nature, but God has said, you know what? You want to talk about church? Anyway, I'm joking. It's just how easy it is for individuals and humans to pick things out of context and we can make them work for ourselves. Unfortunately, we've seen people being exposed and stuff like this. But what we are here to talk about is Rwanda and the steps it's taking on shutting down other 5,600 churches. Before, it had shut down others, and it has some very interesting factors, and I'm here to join in the conversation because I feel like there's a need for some aspect of the reason why the churches were closed to be incorporated in other countries. And not to say that I don't go to church, because I do go to church. I believe in God, and I believe there's at least something that people gain from the whole aspect of religion. And let's not even talk about church only. We could also talk about mosques, because also those ones have a place that I feel like we have something to talk about. It's raining, guys, so let's go inside. So I refuse to leave this beautiful nature. I'm just gonna take in the drizzle, and we're gonna finish this video and just the sounds of the birds I'm loving. So in Rwanda, there has been a shutdown of churches, and there's three reasons as to why the churches have been shut down. There's one, infrastructure, and there being churches that do not meet the requirements of, like Rwanda government. And two, there is, the requirements of the people that are gonna lead in the protocols of the church. And something that stood out for me, that I was like, this is something that we are crying in different places. Not to mean there is no purpose of this church going on and stuff like this, but if there's something I would appreciate and love as a Kenyan, is soundproof houses that let people to do the praise and worship. Because even sometimes, like the singing and the preaching and all this, as well as regulated people and preachers that we know are doing the right things, selling the right message, and basically following the Bible, as well as very educated followers that are able to seek God for themselves. Africa is one of those countries that I would say we quote unquote unfortunately easily get brainwashed, easily get to not trust ourselves and to trust the things that we have and the blessings that God has for us, and we tend to believe other people. So when you see someone is able to solve your life problems, and we have this mentality unfortunately that someone is coming to save us, and it's high time that we realize we are the ones who who are here for ourselves. Like, no one is coming to save us. We have to brace ourselves to accept our situation. And even as we are talking about the place of God, one thing that I would appreciate is like if places of worship had a way to regulate the sound to remain within the building, and in that way there's some form of peace to everyone, whether those outside, those ones inside. Yeah, one of other regulation that I found interesting that was introduced in Rwanda is some of the requirements that you need to have for you to start a church. And this actually does make sense. That will reduce the amount of small churches that we find everywhere. But beyond that, there was requirements like you should have a theology degree, and there's a place for education when it comes to religion. There's a place for Christianity, no, like for education basically, and for mastering the whole concept and stuff like this. But there's also, quote unquote, what they say, a place for calling. And the reason I'm quoting is sometimes people can call themselves, and sometimes there are those people that are called by others. I feel like this is actually a good aspect of showing who are the people that are dedicated to even the calling, but they are willing to go beyond just the calling, but dedicating themselves to even study. If there's other form of showing you qualify to have that similar understanding, then that would be nice, and it doesn't have to be limited to a degree. Because also, unfortunately, this education system that we go to, sometimes they are not the education of what you're going to learn in school does not necessarily equate to equipping you with the things that you need for you to be able to even like start things like even a business, forget even about a church and stuff like this. So there has to be a way for people to gauge and know about this calling, and for them to be able to start a church, so we can confirm that we are having leaders that are leading us right. Now, we cannot fail to discuss about the place of church when it comes to political aspects, or how even Africa is affected. I'll give you an example. I come from Kenya, and our president, apparently this is a joke that was made by someone, an Ethiopian that I met, and was saying that the similarity between your president and our prime minister is that they both go to church and they are very prayerful, and then when it comes to their action, they don't necessarily show fully what the Christianity is all about, things like this. So the church in Africa, unfortunately, has been used to sell or push ideologies and things. Let's say a good example is like politicians, when they want to campaign, they go to churches. And in Kenya, during the protest that was ongoing, I saw a lot of people going even in churches and being like, hey, you church people, you're the ones who are telling us on who to vote to. You would bring leaders to pitch their ideas and stuff like this. So we can't say the church plays a very big role in influencing the people. And if there's a regulation there on how that goes about, then we can be able to even trust our church leaders who have a great influence on us as African. But one message that I would wish that they would preach more is us to love ourselves as we are, and to end the whole idea of self-hate, and to believe in ourselves more. And then we are not going to be standing and believing in something that you sure know is fake. There's a degree of fakeness, but you know what they say, whatever you believe actually comes true, because our minds and our minds dictate our mouth, our words, and our words dictate our actions. So if you believe like this oil is gonna work over my life, and you take actions that lead to that way, or your faith is showing you to that way, then it comes to happen. But how much more would it be if all the leaders in the churches were actually, we know it's right, we know there's no fakery things and stuff like this. But going back to the Rwanda conversation, I am really, really happy with some of the steps that Rwanda government takes up. After visiting Rwanda, I cannot fail to appreciate how, there is regulation of the country, like the borders, people, there is some form of order in Rwanda that I really love, the cleanliness. And even now, this being like, let's have some form of order when it comes to even churches. It's amazing. There's so much that we can learn about Rwanda, and one day we could even do a live stream on some lessons that we can take from Rwanda. And that is it, guys. Let me know what you think about the churches being closed. Yes. So on the aspect of noise, we need some regulations on this, but anyway, it's nature and it's beautiful and I love it. These are the sounds we should be hearing. And just that makes me say it's almost, hear that. it's almost time for the sun to set, despite there not being sun. So I'm sure the mosque is about to make a sound. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. I will see you in the comment section because I love hearing what you guys have to say. Should we learn from Rwanda? I'm keen to know. And what African countries specifically should embrace this? Until the next one, bye.